Welcome, everybody, in this podcast made by the Department of Public Policy at Corvinus University. My name is Márton Papp. I work for the PR team of this department. Today, I am going to interview two public policy students, two ladies who took part in a double degree program at the Palermo University in Italy. Their name is Láncz and Dominika Vitár. Hello, welcome.
Hi, Márton.
Hello.
My first question is, where did you first hear about this program?
Basically, I found this opportunity on the university website, and it was part of my decision of choosing that major. So yes, I would say I made this decision really early. How about you, Anna?
The same applies to me as well, because I saw various foreign opportunities on the website, and that is why I chose this master.
Thanks. Why did you choose this program? What did you like about it? Have you ever been to Italy before?
Okay, so I was studying Italian for years now, and I thought it would be a really good opportunity to gain knowledge. And because in South Italy, it's so much easier to study Italian, like in general, as I know. And in the university, we had the classes in English, but I could have a good use of my Italian. Yes.
I didn't learn Italian before, but I was in Italy before, and I love the country and the culture as well, and I wanted to know more about it in general.
I see. What was the student life like while studying there? Did you enjoy it? How many Erasmus students were there, or how many foreign students, international students, did you cooperate or study with?
We didn't study a lot of international students because when we were in school, we had quite a small class, I would say, but we met a lot of international students in general all over the world.
Yeah, that's right. Right.
What was your greatest experience as a double degree student? The funniest moment or the happiest moment?
I would say mine was just from a train or a bus ride away from the sea, which was a really good experience. So on the weekends or even after school, we could go visit local beaches. That was really nice.
Yeah, similar to me, but also we had really nice conversations with our instructors, and I met really great scholars and students there because they were all over the world. But also culture, a sense of the city is really special for sure.
I see. On the website, I read that you needed to take 30 credits. How many courses did you take to fulfill this requirement? At some universities, every course is like worth 5 to 6 credits, or at some other universities, just 1 or 2. So how did it look like?
It was different in our case because of the agreement between the University of Corvinus and the University of Palermo. We had to take 3 classes, and one of them was 8 credits, the other 10, and the other one is 12. So yeah, we had to take 3 classes, but it was for the whole semester.
Yeah, so it's different from what we have in Corvinus because we studied one class at a time, and we had to be in the university 3 or 4 days a week, almost the whole day. We were at the university and completing tasks, going to lectures. So for that, we didn't really have like a heavy workload because it was really like spread during the year.
How difficult was it to keep a GPA high while studying in the double degree program? And in the meanwhile, you were writing your thesis. Yeah. So how difficult is it?
I would say it's doable, and I also completed 2 other courses for Corvinus during this period. But due to this Erasmus program, we couldn't finish our semester on time, so we had a bit more time for completing thesis. Yes.
I wrote my thesis this semester, and I will have the final exam in a few weeks in the end of January.
And how did you get your grades there? Did you have a written exams or spoken exam, or were your grades based on homeworks, Dominika?
Okay, so I think we had 2 exams and 1 home exam. So it was similar to Corvinus, I think. So yeah.
I think the difference was that we had to take exams right after the course finished. So we had the first course for I think 3 weeks, and then we had an exam, and then we started the other course, and we had an exam. So it was a different structure.
So it wasn't like nothing for weeks and then an examination period, but more like a balanced.
Yes.
Where did you live in Palermo? Did you rent a flat or live in a student's home or dormitory?
We both were renting, and there were really nice opportunities to rent, like Facebook groups, and there are nice people who offer these houses and also activities. So there is like a huge expat community in Palermo, I would say. So I think it was not that hard to find a house there. And dormitory was not really an option for us, as I know.
There wasn't really any dormitories options, not even student houses. So everybody I knew rented a flat or an apartment in Palermo.
Yes, but around 200 euros, you could definitely find a room, only like a room somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's true.
What did you spend your free time with? Did you go to cinemas or visit museums in Palermo? Did you visit other cities?
Yes, we tried to do the most as we could, I think, and ESN and these other expat groups helped a lot to organize our time there. We had a really great time, I think, and as Anna mentioned before, beaches are really close to Palermo, although not in Palermo, but with train or buses, it was like 20 minutes to get to a nice area. Also in Palermo, plenty of activities all the time, programs, festivals, concerts, and there is the theater, Teatro Massimo, with concerts. And yes, I couldn't even line it all up.
Anna?
Yeah, and basically I did the same as Dominika mentioned, and I visited Rome once because I went to vote there.
Wow, I see. What was the weather like in Palermo? Because for some students, especially for some international students, climate can be very important.
I think surprisingly cold at the beginning because we arrived in February, and in these Mediterranean countries, heater is not always an option. I think we had cold like everywhere until April. So you need to prepare for that. But after summer, it was super hot. Like as a Mediterranean country, I would say.
Yes, central heating is not a common thing in Sicily. So I think all the apartments that I've been and even in classes, the only heating option was like through air conditioning. So of course it was colder inside than I used to experience. But in February it was around 15 degrees outside, which is of course better than in Hungary. But if you are thinking like sleeping in 15 degrees, then it can be cold.
So you had one thesis supervisor from each of the universities. How did it go, and what did you write your thesis about? Let's start with Anna first.
My thesis supervisor was Christina Turi. I chose her because I wrote about the Hungarian non-profit sector and how could they overcome the financial challenges that they experiencing now and they experienced in the past as well. I would say it was easier, but at the same time harder to write my thesis in English. Easier because I found a lot of literature in English, but for the same reason it was harder to write it in English because I had to be aware to restructure the sentences so they wouldn't think that I plagiarism. the whole thesis. So it was easier, but at the same time harder to write in English.
Mm-hmm. Dominika?
Yes, it was challenging at first, but then it has its advantages, of course, because of the topic you choose. Like, it was easier to find the material in English, and then it would have been harder to translate to Hungarian. So I think it was worth it to write in English, and it was okay. And yes, my supervisor was Áron Hajnal, PhD student, and also my topic was about ocean pollution and how policymakers could make a change. And I was preparing for that from the first semester, so I think it's important to choose your thesis topic wisely and prepare before. That's what I would say.
I see. You were in Italy. Was it mandatory to take some beginner Italian classes?
It wasn't mandatory, but we had a chance to participate at a language school, and for the first time, it was for free for Erasmus students, and I took beginner lessons, of course, because I didn't study Italian before, and it was really good opportunity, and I think I gained knowledge, but also courage to try to speak the locals.
Mm-hmm. Dominika?
I really enjoyed Italian classes. It was really high quality classes, I would say. I mean, my teachers were really qualified, and we didn't only study the basic Italians, but also the Sicilian culture and this Sicilian way of speaking, which was nice to learn. And I also studied not only for free, but after it was like €100 for 40 hours. So I think it was worth it. And also my classmates were from different countries, and it was a nice experience to meet more people out of the university. And yeah, it was a good opportunity.
Would you recommend this program for other PUMA students, for Hungarians or non-Hungarian but full-time PUMA students at Corvinus University?
Definitely, I would recommend this program. But I would also say that it's only one semester. So if you would like to participate in other Erasmus programs, then feel free to go in the other semester, because you need to decide it from the really beginning when you just start your master program, because then you need to be careful how you choose your classes from the beginning. I think it's really important. But then I think it's really the best opportunity you can have during your masters. And yeah, I would really recommend.
Anna?
I can only agree with Dominika, but I would highlight another really great thing, that is that you will gain a double degree after this program, which is quite useful.
Definitely. As it is a double degree program, that program is based on a student exchange. So you can meet your classmates then here in Budapest. And I think it was nice that we reached out before we went to Palermo, to other Palermo students at Corvinus University. So when we went to Palermo, we already had some acquaintances. We had some friends there, which was really useful.
Thanks. My very last question. In early June, we had a football match between Italy and Hungary. Did you watch that football match? Because you were still in Italy at that moment.
Yeah, I watched it. I was at a pizzeria, but it was really weird that only 3 people were rooting for Hungary and all the others were rooting for Italy, of course. But it was good.
Dominika?
Yes, it was like nothing special, I would say, like not like in Hungary. But I would really add that watching football in Palermo and the football era, they have a really famous football team, Rossonero, and it was full of Italy during that period. Parties and football matches everywhere. It's really recommended to go and watch a football match in the stadium once.
Yes, I even forgot that, but I almost forgot that, but it was a really good experience as well. Yeah, I was in the stadium, at the Palermo Stadium, like 2 or 3 times, and the atmosphere and the people and just rooting for the team, it was really good.
Thank you. In this podcast, I interviewed Anna Láncz and Dominika Vitár about their experience of the Corvinus Palermo double degree program designed for PUMA students. Thank you very much, and I wish you good luck for your final exams in late January.
Thank
you. Goodbye.
Bye.